Hey everyone, welcome to Just Get It In. This session is focusing on the upper spine, shoulder blades, shoulders and neck. So I want you to have a block to handle something of the equivalent. I want you to start in tabletop. Take your wrists roughly under your shoulders, knees under the hips, and try not to let those outer ankles just collapse out, so tops of feet to the floor. Take a moment to kind of get in that position. I want you to bring your attention to the front of your hips, and I want you to slowly curl them up towards the belly. You'll feel your lower back start to round, your mid back, your upper back. And as your mid back and upper back rounds, lift it up and chin towards the chest. So you're in cat pose, but you're getting there slowly. And then I like to bring the attention to the pelvic floor and curl the pelvic floor back and up as if it's trying to chase your tailbone. You'll feel your belly soften a little bit towards the floor, the lower back arch in. The chest starts to lift, the chin. And as you come right to the end of this posture, cow pose, I want you to lift the front of the shoulders up by pressing the hands a little bit down. So we're going slow between these two postures, cat and cow, so more segmentally. So start to round the lower back as you lift the front of your hips up. I want you to go slow, as if you're walking up through your spine from your lower back to your mid back, towards your upper back. And again, you're lifting the back of the spine up the more you round it, and eventually chin towards your chest. Uncurl the bum. Arch the lower back in, and again walk yourself up your spine and eventually your chest. Your chin will lift and lift up the front of the shoulders. Good. Couple more at your own pace. So there's loads of ways to do cat and cow. This is more segmentally, so you won't be timing the movement with your breath. The mind will find a breathing strategy that kind of works, but you're more focused on the movement. Mindful, slow. You're articulating your spine. Extension, flexion. You're rotating the pelvis both ways. Good. And then I want you to eventually just come into cow pose. So you curl the bum up. I want you to shift your hands a little bit forwards. And then tuck the toes and come up and back into downward facing dog for a couple of breaths. Good. Push the floor away through the arms. Lift your heels, lift your outer hips. Draw the hips a little up and back. Nice. Stay there for a breath. And then come forwards to plank. Lower down to the floor. Come into an easy sphinx with the hands interlaced. Just lift the feet, move them back, tops of feet to the floor. And rather than massively lifting the chest up and forwards and creasing the neck and looking forwards and up, I want you to just drop the chin slightly, a little bit of pressing down through the forearms. You're looking more towards the kind of wrist region, thumb region, and all I want you to do is just rotate the head slowly towards one shoulder, but not go all the way, and slowly back to the center and over to the opposite side. Now you can turn fully and try and get 100% of your range. At this stage, I just want you to kind of stay within 50 to 70% of your range. Good. Maybe you're mindful of your breath. But at this stage, again, I just want you to focus on attentive, mindful movement. Noticing the sensations, i.e. if it comes a little bit too tense in one side of the neck as you rotate that head. So you rotate your neck. You just ease off a little bit. And know that at this stage, that range is not where you want to be. And actually after about 3 or 4 more rounds, things start to ease up. You go a little bit further. Excellent. Slowly release that. Come back to tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and again, tops of feet to the floor. I want you to point your first finger forwards, and I want you to turn your biceps a little bit more towards the thumbs. And then with the front ribs, lift them a little bit up in towards your spine. Bring your attention to your breastbone, and I want you to push down through your arms and take the breastbone slowly down a bit and move your shoulder blades towards each other. Keep your arms straight so you're not bending your elbows. Then lift the breastbone up, 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 up. Feel your shoulder blades move apart. Now keep the front ribs a little bit in. Try and keep the neck and head straight. This is not a high range of motion pose. This is not about how far you can dip your chest to the floor. We're not trying to create a back bend. We're trying to move the shoulder blades together and apart. And by bringing your attention to your breastbone and taking it a little bit down and then fully up, you have a landmark to move from that ultimately brings other things that we're targeting together and apart. So as you lift up, your shoulder blades move apart, they protract. As the shoulder blades draw together, they retract as the chest lowers. Okay, do that a couple more times. This might feel hard work. Nice work. And then shift your hands forwards and come back to downward facing dog again. No matter what physicality you are, the bulk of these things that we do today are extremely valuable. Take the bum a little bit forwards out of down dog, push down through your arms, feel your shoulder blades draw together, then draw the bum up and back into downward facing dog again. Head forwards to plank, lower down. You're going to come into locust pose, but we're just going to build the intensity a little bit now. Take the hands back, palms facing down. I don't want you to worry too much about how much you lift up. The target's going to be the shoulder blades and upper arms. So lift the head and chest, maybe lift the feet a little bit, but reach the arms up and back. Turn your biceps and your palms out for this variation and draw your shoulder blades a little bit more together and down your back. Keep squeezing a bit in that retraction and depression of your shoulder blades. Good, so you're firing all the stuff between them. Nice, and then slowly release that. Step into tabletop, step the right foot forwards and pick up the block or your equivalent. If you haven't got the block, you could just make two fists and have the hands roughly shoulder distance apart. Pick up the block. I'd like to squeeze it if you can. That's why we've got something there. Arms are parallel to the floor. You're not dropping your hips massively forwards and down, okay? Pull the front ribs a little bit in, look forwards, squeeze the block. Move the shoulder blades forwards and move the shoulder blades back and in towards each other. Forwards, so they move apart, back and in. Good. Do that a few times. Try to resist moving anything else but your shoulder blades and seemingly your arms, hands and block in space. Your arms are not moving per se, your shoulder blades are moving the arms. Good, keep squeezing the block, that's the hard bit, we're creating a lot of tension. I want this to be difficult. And then slowly release that. Step back into downward facing dog. Head halfway to plank, push down through the arms, lift the bum up and back into downward facing dog. Good, pause there for a breath. Then rock forwards again to plank, slowly down to the floor. Same locust pose. Reach back, palms facing down, lift the back body a bit up, turn the palms out, turn the biceps out. I want you to draw the top of the shoulders a little bit more down this time and draw the shoulder blades together and down your back. When I say move these things, you might not get much movement, so don't worry if things don't appear to be moving loads in space. Good, breathe out, release that. Back into tabletop, left foot forwards. A little bit different this time. We're adding some more rotation to the shoulder blades. So take the arms forwards, squeeze the block, front ribs a little bit in. As you squeeze the block, shoulder blades forwards, up, back, down. Shoulder blades forwards, keep squeezing the block, up, back, down. Forwards, up, back, down. Keep going, because otherwise I'm just going to sound like a twat. Going forwards, up, back, down. It's hard. And then slowly release that. Step back into downward facing dog. I'm not going to enjoy the next one in a moment or two. Head forwards to plank. Lower down into Sphinx. Same kind of thing. Maybe lift the chin a little bit more this time, and then we're just rotating the chin towards the right shoulder. Back to the center, over to the left. Good, just breathe as you breathe. Probably got another maybe 20 seconds or so. As you come back to center, actually dip the chin a little bit towards the chest. That might feel nice. And then lift the chin up towards the opposite shoulder. So as you come back, dip the chin a little bit towards the chest. And then re-lift and turn. Nice. And then feel free to come all the way back. Downward facing dog. Left knee down, right foot forwards. Want you to reach your arms up to the ceiling, turn the palms to face forwards and make the hands like blades so the fingers are together. And then I want you to slowly bend the elbows down and in, a bit like a lat pull down, but do it quite passively. And then with your shoulder blades, draw again towards each other and down your back. And I want you to keep your shoulder blades moving towards each other and then slowly lift the hands a little bit up. You are probably not going to get the arms anywhere near straight, but just work to keep the shoulder blades together as you lift the hands slowly up. Good, and slowly release that. Again, that should have been hard work. Head forwards to plank. Lower down into cobra pose. And for a lot of guys, I like them to turn the hands out, draw the elbows in, draw the elbows back, pull the chest forwards and up. Notice my tops of feet are to the floor. With a lot of guys, they keep their toes tucked under. It's very compressing for the lower back. Shoulder blades towards each other, down your back. This is hard work. And then slowly release that. Then come back into downward facing dog. Right knee down, left foot forwards. That kind of scapular stability work. So shoulder blade stability. Arms up, bend the arms wide, draw the elbows down and in towards the side ribs. Your palms are facing forwards. Now see if you can get the back of your hands a little bit back this time, just to increase your external rotation. Back of the elbows a little bit back. Good. From there, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and a little bit down your back, and slowly lift the hands up. Keep working the shoulder blades. Going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Slowly release that. Step back into downward facing dog. Just draw the knees down to the floor. Set up a little bit as if you're doing child's pose. So knees a little wider, bring the big toes towards each other. And I want you to go forearms down to the floor. Turn the palms to face up. Wiggle the inside of those wrists, hands and forearms, elbows together. Then round your back as if you're doing cat pose. Forearms come back a bit, like the elbows are heading back towards the line of the knees. You probably won't get there. Re-round the back, squeeze the inside of the arms together, and just move the bum slightly back and then forwards a bit. As you continue to do that, keep lifting up the mid-back in particular, particularly where the bottom of the shoulder blades are. You can explore your range. You can explore the sensation and stretch. Then I want you to find somewhere and pause, re-round the back, and try and move the shoulder blades apart more, and almost like they're trying to wrap around the outsides of your upper back. Breathe. Now, if you're still squeezing your arms together, fair fucking play. Because it's not difficult to do for 1 or 2 seconds. It's difficult to keep doing. And then slowly release that. Nice. Whew. Now look, whether you're sat on a chair here, whether you're sat on a block or bolster or your bum, come to a comfortable seat. Good. So we're just going to get more into the neck. I want you to round your back slightly so the back of the ribs move back. You drop your chin towards your chest. Place your hands somewhere comfortable. So you've deliberately got poor posture. You're going to take your chin slowly towards one shoulder and then slowly back to center and towards the other. Now, I'm not going to say much for the next 30 odd seconds, but you go slow. You're slow. Very subjective pace and speed. And again, you're not trying to crank your head as far as you can go. You're monitoring the tension in the side of the neck you're turning the head towards. Ten more seconds. And then end up back in the center. Don't lift the head. Take one hand to the chin, relax the head, and with your hand, lift the head back up. And then lift a little bit more up in your spine so that the spine is in more of its natural curves. Good. You're going to take your left ear towards your left shoulder. You're going to take your right hand out to the side and maybe a little bit back. Maybe the hand is resting on something, and if it is, I want you to press it down. Change the angle of the chin or the nose to affect the stretch on the right side of the neck. And with your right shoulder blade, draw a little bit down. 3 or 4 breaths. Take your left hand to the side of your left side of your skull, and then with your hand just ease the head back to the center. Good. Re-establish more of a neutral spine. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Left hand a little bit out, maybe a little bit back, and if it's touching something, just press it down a bit. Find the stretch that works for you. Again, there's no right or wrong in any of these things, unless there is pain. Good. You're breathing there. The left shoulder blade is descending. It's drawing down a bit. Good. You find something that works, you take a couple more breaths. Good. Right hand to the side of the skull. Relax your head. Move the head back to the center. Pause there for a breath. Going a little bit further this time. Left ear towards left shoulder. You take the right forearm behind you and onto your back. You draw the right shoulder blade down. Your left hand comes up and cups the opposite side of the head. So right side of the skull. You're not trying to yank the head down. You're easing the head down if you need to go a little bit further. But I like to stretch the stuff out and then engage a little bit. So just feel like you're lifting the head back up against the fingers of the hand and resisting a bit with the hand. Good. You keep your right shoulder blade down. You can even press the right forearm a little bit into the back. Good. Another breath. You bring your left hand now to the left side of the skull. Ease your head back to center and then slowly release the arms. Just lift the shoulders up, back and down a couple of times. And then we'll just rotate the other way. So back, up, forwards and down. Good. Pause there. Last one. Right ear towards the right shoulder. Left forearm onto the back. Left shoulder blade down. Right hand comes up, catches the opposite side of the skull. And again, change the angle of the chin or the nose. Find something. Take a moment to feel into that. And then just don't yank down with the head. Press a little bit up with the head. Resist with the hand. Forearms maybe pressing into the back. But that whole left shoulder compartment is drawing down. Good, another breath. Take the hand now to the opposite side of the head. Ease back to center. And slowly release that. In the natural curve of the back of your neck, I'm very relaxed now, to be honest. First time for everything. I just want you to slowly turn the head one way and turn it back to center and to the other. Eyes open or closed, it's totally up to you. To be honest, it helps if I close my eyes. See all these big fucking lights beaming on me. Good. Last bit. You take your hands to the back of your head, but you interlace the fingers and kind of have the palms. So you see this this bottom ridge of your skull. I want your hands to kind of cup into there. The neck is in its natural curve, so the chin is roughly parallelish to the floor you're looking forwards. With the head, press firmly back into the hands, and with the hands, pull that skin a little bit up. And again, don't worry if you're worrying if it's right or wrong. Good. Just get some tension in the back of the neck in its natural curve. Feel like you're lengthening the bottom of the skull up with your hands. And then slowly release that. 1 or 2 more shoulder rolls. Can you move from the shoulder blades? Maybe do 1. I've had an incredibly bad shoulder since January. I've not been able to load my upper body. I've been other than these short videos, I've had to stay off loading my upper body. And this kind of scapular mobility work has been imperative to improve my shoulder to the point that I'm now waking up pain-free. But it's kept me awake for nights, couldn't put my coat on for 2 months, shoulder bursitis in the top. It's been a bloody nightmare. And that was fucking from repetitive stress from doing dips in the gym pretty much for 3 months without a day off. So I take responsibility for that. But this stuff, so good. So good. All right. Hope that helps. See you soon.